Let's go to the AFC North. Let's go to one of the best teams in the history of football. BMAX, Pittsburgh Steelers. What was their best pick in your mind, Emery?
Joey Porter Jr. because he's a legacy guy, and he's one of these guys that fell into their laps at pick 32. You had to take him because you needed someone that could play on the outside. Physical corner, press skills are uncanny because of his long arms. Come from a well-coached program at Penn State when he was with his defense, and what they did out there was allowed him to press guys on the outside. So I feel like with Pittsburgh's combination of need at the position combined with the type of player they got in Porter Jr. was a great pick.
All right, I agree, and I think they had a great draft. They had players fall to them that they didn't necessarily expect. Look at Darnell Washington, the tight end out of Georgia. He lasted till the 93rd pick. He was regularly going in the first round of some of these mock drafts, and we'll see how that progresses for him in Pittsburgh. Who was your hidden gem for Pittsburgh Steelers?
It's not the sexy position, but Keanu Benton out there as a nose tackle is a phenomenal player. We were all down there in Mobile and watched him have a fantastic week of work, just moving guys out. They had offensive linemen looking like cows on skates. So when you talk about someone playing that physical up front in the run game, just getting Pittsburgh better defensively is always a great thing for that organization.
And Rick, in case you're wondering, my hidden gems for this team, both Nick Herbig and Corey Trice. So make a note and we can talk about that in the fall.
Yeah. We'll regrade the regrades. Well, we're going to grade and regrade again.
I think Rick is done with the draft. All right, let's go on to Baltimore, where they just stockpile wide receivers, both young and old, and they got a dude in the first round in Zay Flowers. Part of his game memory reminds me of AB at his best, Antonio Brown in his prime. Who was your best pick for the Baltimore Ravens?
It was Zay Flowers because of what you mentioned. You talk about AB in his prime. I'll go one step further just to make Rick mad. I'm going to say Tyreek Hill because he's so explosive in all directions.
Rick's mad.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah, look, we'll look at the film.
I watched the film.
That's so much speed right there. That's Tyreek Hill. But in all seriousness, Rick, how frustrating is it for you as an evaluator when you're watching someone this dynamic and knowing he's going to an offense and you saw him open so much at Boston College, but he didn't have the quarterback play. Now he's going into a situation where he's going to probably be your third option, but he's going to be your home run hitter at the position.
Yeah, but I would bet you $100 that if you put him next to Cheetah on the start line, the Cheetah's going to beat him in a 40, a 60, 100, 120. So I'm just saying, the speed thing, he is fast, but he's not Cheetah fast.
He's explosive in all directions. That's where the comp goes. And again, Flowers to me really helps out this offense because, they've drafted a lot of receivers for Lamar Jackson. They've drafted a lot of receivers, but this is probably the one position where the Ravens have not had success. If you can trust Baltimore to draft O-line, corners, edge rushers, running backs, they could nail those. But wide receivers, they seem to whiff, but I don't think they whiff with Zay Flowers.
No. I think Rick, you would agree with this. Zay Flowers is.
He's a heck of a receiver. He's going to make immediate impact as a rookie. I'm just saying the Cheetah comparison.
He's
it kind of dropped me to the floor almost.
Took you back. Put your seatbelt on. We don't want you falling out of the chair there. But you would agree that Zay is better than Hollywood coming out, right?
Oh, yeah.
The former first-round pick who is now in Arizona. All right. Best hidden gem for the Ravens. I'll just mention quickly, they have a history of taking guys who have injury concerns. David Ojabo last year towards Achilles. They got him cheapish in the second round. They also got Andrew Voorhees, the offensive lineman at USC this year, tore his ACL, unfortunately, at the Combine. And he has a chance, in my mind, to possibly have been a late day 2, early day 3 pick. They get him in the 7th round. But who is your hidden gem for the Ravens?
Caillou Blue Kelly. We saw him have success in the postseason as well. And he's someone, again, they need corner help. Stevens was out there, Brandon Stevens, good player, but was a former running back, now trying to play corner in the NFL, and we saw how that worked out for him. I don't think he was ready to be thrust out there on the perimeter. Teams was targeting him specifically throughout the back end of the season. So Caillou Blue Kelly, to me, is someone that can help them out in a position of need and is still able to bring back a Marcus Peters if they want to.
He was one of the corners down to the Senior Bowl that really popped out to me. I liked him on tape, didn't love him, and then I saw the way he moved down to the Senior Bowl, and I thought he had one of the best practices at the position down there.
By the way, that's Zay Flowers' pick. The Ravens have never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver in 27 seasons. Longest active drought in the NFL. It's hard to wrap your brain around that. All right, let's go to Cincinnati. They're okay at wide receiver, whether they drafted anyone at all this weekend or not. Who is your favorite pick for the Bengals?
I like that they keep addressing that defensive line. Myles Murphy, to me, was one of the more underrated pass rushers. Some people thought he was too nice of a player, but I just like the fact that he plays the run well. He also shows an ability to have a long arm staff to really anchor at the point of attack, and also can get to the quarterback. So I like his skill set. I think going to Cincinnati gives him an opportunity to fit in within that rotation and continue to stockpile guys that can get after the quarterback in that division with those athletic quarterbacks is always a great thing.
We know about Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, and I said they don't necessarily need receivers. They drafted 2 of them, which is interesting, including Andre Yeshivas out of Princeton, the heptathlete. Who was your hidden gem for Cincinnati?
It was Charlie Jones from Purdue. I feel like he's always open. You know, we talk about Zay Flowers, so you're frustrated watching him just be open all day and no one's throwing him the football. Well, they got Charlie Jones the football at Purdue. Aiden O'Connor did a great job in finding him. And he's someone that may be the heir apparent to a Tyler Boyd last year of his deal, possibly.
You got Rick's attention there.
So, you know, you draft
as long as they play zone coverage against him. Don't press him in man coverage, because he's got to learn how to get off the line of scrimmage.
That's why you keep him inside. You keep him off the line of scrimmage. He doesn't want that physical discussion at the point of attack. So, yeah, Charlie Jones, to me, is someone, your quintessential slot receiver. And I think he's going to take in that role very well, can play special teams, but I feel like this was a future pick for Cincinnati.
By the way, Charlie Jones transferred from Buffalo to Iowa and then to Purdue. Imagine being in Iowa thinking, you know what, we don't need you. We can score 6 points on our own against whoever they're playing. Who are they playing, San Diego? South Dakota State.
South Dakota State. But that's South Dakota State. Didn't they end up winning the
Jackrabbits did win that championship.
Yeah, they did.
They're an FCS program going up against a Big Ten team.
I know, but they won a national championship. They are a good football team.
Could they have used Charlie Jones?
No. They had Tucker Kraft.
And they had both the Yankee twins, the receivers.
I'm talking about Iowa could have used.
Oh, Iowa used everything.
No, but yeah, he would have wasted his time.
Yeah, he would have wasted
Exactly. All right, speaking of wasting our time, whew, Lord, give me strength. All right, let's go to Cleveland and see what's going on in Cleveland there. They didn't have a first-round pick as well. What did you like about what they did in this draft?
Well, Ryan, I'm going to talk specifically to you because I know Rick wants to throw his laptop at me.
Can I go? I think I'll go.
You can take this segment off.
Take a segment off.
There you go.
Because I'm going to say DeJuan Jones. I love DeJuan Jones, big mammoth guy. He's not quite Flozell, the Hotel Adams out there on the perimeter, but he's someone that is a big offensive lineman. Yes, he had an outstanding day at the Senior Bowl before he pulled up. One day, he did what he had to do, pulled up. I thought he probably
and did nothing else the rest of the pre-draft process.
Yet he finds himself in Cleveland on an offensive line that can use him. I think he's a plug-and-play right tackle only type player, but up front on that offensive line they need that help up there for Cleveland. I think DeJuan Jones, they got themselves a really good one in the offensive tackle.
So, Rick, they got DeJuan Jones. They also got Siaki Ika, both guys that had first-round buzz at certain points. I think you would agree. I'm guessing that those are great places to draft these players on the upside?
Yeah, yeah. They're not, I mean, it's a lot lower risk, so if they do fail, it's not a big of financial hit, especially towards your cap. So, and you give these guys usually a couple years before you determine whether they are hits or busts.
Right.
Quick question, Rick. With his weight, how much does weight factor in? Like, man, can he control this? I know he dropped weight, but how much are you worried about?
Why do you think he dropped? Not weight, but in the draft.
Exactly right. That makes sense. That answers that
was
question.
Funny?
Yeah.
You get dropped, not weight, but in the draft.
Ryan, a hater, man.
Thankfully, they're showing the graphic to hide how hilariously hard I'm laughing. All right. I wanted to take a break so badly, but first we got to do the hidden gem. Luke Whippler, to me, jumps out as the hidden gem. The center that had some top 75 buzz lasted till pick 190. Who are you going with, Emery?
I'm going with Cedric Tillman. I feel like everyone just watched the Alabama game and got stuck on Hyatt and kept talking about him all throughout the process.
That's right.
And forgot that last year, Tillman was a big dog out there. You go back and watch that Music City Bowl against Purdue and watch him just do great things going deep down the field. But as we talk about with Wilson from Stanford and all these other guys, if he's healthy, that's the big caveat. So for me, if he can stay healthy, they have someone that can play on the outside. And Cleveland has quietly put together a type. They like these guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 215, and he fits the mold.
No, I think that's right. I think it's a good pick, and
It is
that's
right.
a pretty solid draft for a team that didn't have a first-round pick. All right,